השם מלך, השם מלך, השם ימלוך לעולם ועד. השם מלך, השם מלך, השם מלך, השם ימלוך לעולם. I wanna get up and leave. I wanna get up. Everything's always the same. I wanna get up and leave. Now we're standing here and the night's so clear, like the shine upon your crown. Yeah, we're up so high in the midnight sky, and we'll never come back down.
Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, our Father, King David's rock, your honor. We give Allah the stronger, we clean you drop. The blessing, the bracha, success, hatzlacha. The world is yours, you offer it to whomever calls you.
Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Yeah. Wake up, my friend, we gone. We praising Hashem with all of ourselves. The Creeper is fighting, we know. We raging a war, we won't let him go. Even if the world don't turn, the fire will burn. The H-Tamid, a korban, some sacrifice. Yeah, put H on me, we clapping loud, screaming loud. We gonna take the crown, bring it back straight to the king. Then we bow, Malchut complete. Yup. Pick up a mix for lay down the hate. Olama bar, Olama say the feeling is great when we can say praise Hashem, his name is great.
Standing here and the night's so clear, like the shine upon your crown. Yeah, we're up so high in the midnight sky, and we'll never come back down. על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף, הכל יהיה טוב, על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף, הכל יהיה טוב, הכל זורם טוב.
רגל על הגז ואצבע על הרדיו, מכבה את הבעיות, סיק כמו סיגריות. החלון שלי פתוח, אז בטוח שהרוח תספר לעולם מה שאני שר לו. כמה טוב, לא לחשוב, לתת למוזיקה לסחוף את החבר'ה ואותי עד הסוף.
על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף, הכל יהיה טוב, על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף, הכל יהיה טוב, הכל זורם טוב.
את המסלול אני המלך, הדלק יספיק לכל הדרך. בערך המוזיקה באוטו מתחננת שתגביר, וגם אם אתה תניח אף אחד לא יפסיק לשיר. יש תור שלם שמחכה לשמוע שלבלגן כבר יהיה סוף. עזוב את הפקק ובוא נתחיל לנסוע, תן לאהבה להכל.
על כביש החור, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף. הכל יהיה טוב. על כביש החור, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף. הכל יהיה טוב. הכל זורק טוב. השקיעה צובעת את השמיים באדום, כבר נגמר
לא זה עוד לא הזמן לחלום עד שהגענו עד הלום, אין מצב שנעצור, אנחנו לא נתייאש והלילה לא נגמר, הווייז יכול לחפור עד מחר, אין מצב עולים על כביש 6 יקר.
על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף. הכל יהיה טוב. על כביש החוף, רוח בשיער שוטף את הנוף, חבר'ה מאחורה מדברים בלי סוף. הכל יהיה טוב. Mordiana toa, veneta mi colegio que hielo. Sad boy, רגע, איפה סטאד בוי? הגיע הרגע, הרי חיכית לי ואני תמיד חיכיתי לך, והנה היום הזה הגיע. עכשיו מבטיח שאף פעם לא תהי לבד, ואם פתאום תעלמי אחכה כל הלילה, ואלחש בתפילה שאליי תחזרי. ואם תבואי אליי יישאר כל הלילה, ואלחש לך מילים שתדעי שאני שלך, ובבוקר תראי נשאר ביחד, הולכים את הדרך הזו לתמיד יד ביד. ואם תבואי אליי נשאר כל הלילה, ואלחש לך מילים שתדעי שאני שלך, ובבוקר תראי נשאר ביחד, הולכים את הדרך הזו לתמיד יד ביד. עכשיו הגיע הרגע, הרי חיכית לי ואני תמיד חיכיתי לך, והנה היום הזה הגיע. עכשיו מבטיח שאף פעם לא תהי לבד, ואם פתאום תעלמי אחכה כל הלילה, ואלחש בתפילה שאליי תחזרי. ואם תבואי אליי נשאר כל הלילה, ואלחש לך מילים שתדעי שאני שלך, ובבוקר תראי נשאר ביחד, הולכים את הדרך הזו לתמיד יד ביד. ואם תבואי אליי נשאר כל הלילה, ואלחש לך מילים שתדעי שאני שלך, ובבוקר תראי נשאר ביחד, הולכים את הדרך הזו לתמיד יד ביד. ואם תבואי אליי נשאר כל הלילה, ואלחש לך מילים שתדעי שאני שלך, ובבוקר תראי נשאר ביחד, הולכים את הדרך הזו לתמיד יד ביד. ואם תבואי אליי נשאר כל הלילה, ואלחש
Yeah. ביטים עולים לי לראש, ריקוד אחד רק לא לחשוש, הכנתי את הקצב מראש, היא זורמת בי המנגינה, מצמצמת לי נה 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 נה, קראתי לכל השכונה, זמן עובר בטיק-טוק, אין מי שישים סטופ, מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, כולם ממלאו את זה מהר, רק בטיק-טוק, אין מי שישים סטופ, מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, טיק-טוק, טיק-טוק. Pick it up, pick pam pam, slide, slide, jump, jump, jump. Pick it up, pick pam pam, tick tock, up and down. Pick it up, pick pam pam, pick it up, pick pam pam. Pick it up, pick pam pam, tick tock, up and down. If you wanna slide, clap, clap, clap. Take it on my time, knock, knock, knock. Let's go. Count to 1, 2, 3, 4. Light it up on that floor. Fly you to force. זמן עובר בטיק-טוק, אין מי שישים סטופ. מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, כולם ממלאו את זה מהר. רק בטיק-טוק, אין מי שישים סטופ. מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, טיק-טוק, טיק-טוק. Pick it up, pick pam pam, slide, slide, jump, jump, jump. Pick it up, pick pam pam, tick tock, up and down. Pick it up, pick pam pam, pick it up, pick pam pam. Pick it up, pick pam pam, tick tock, up and down. שישים סטופ, מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, כולם ממלאו על זה מהר, רק בטיק-טוק, אין מי שישים סטופ, מתלבשים בטיק-טוק, טיק-טוק, טיק-טוק. פיקי פם פם, סליי סליי, ג'אמפ קלאפ קלאפ, פיקי פם פם, טיק-טוק, טיק-טוק, up and down. פיקי פם פם, פיקי פם פם, פיקי פם פם, טיק-טוק, up and down. אני נולדתי אל המנגינות ואל השירים של כל המדינות. נולדתי ללשון וגם למקום, למעט להמון שיושיט יד לשלום. שלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. אני נולדתי אל החלום ובו אני רואה שיבוא השלום. נולדתי לרצון ולאמונה שהנה הוא יבוא אחרי 30 שנה. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יגיע, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יבוא, אני נולדתי לשלום שרק יופיע, אני רוצה להיות כבר בו. נולדתי לעולם ולשנים 2000, שמורה לאדמה ולחלקת שמיים, והיא רואה צופה, הנה עולה
Okay, can everybody hear me? Let me put on my, okay. Everyone should be able to hear me and see me. Welcome to the 2020 Stepping Up ceremony for our wonderful CBJ students. Congratulations to all of you. You've all earned a very hearty congratulations. I want to start out by thanking Mr. Cohen, Adam's dad, Barry Cohen, for that incredible slideshow of beautiful pictures. Thank you, Mr. Cohen. You did an incredible job again. You are definitely our photographer extraordinaire. You are amazing. And those beautiful pictures are a great reminder of all the wonderful things that we've done this year. And I think we need that reminder right now. So thank you for that. I'm just going to change the screen for a moment so I could stop showing this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Everybody see me now? Okay. So I'm going to give you our formal welcome. So good morning, parents and teachers, our students, most of all, the most special of all. And we'd also like to welcome our CBJ board members that may be with us today. We hope that you're out there as well. Welcome to our CBJ Hebrew School Moving Up ceremony of 2020. Congratulations to all of our CBJ Hebrew School students for another incredible year at CBJ Hebrew School. Okay, I just want to check one thing for a moment. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Yep, I just want to bring that back up. Give me 1 minute. Still technical things to work out. Thank you for Dan Glassman for helping me set all this up this morning, and also for getting all the beautiful pictures up from Barry Cohen's slideshow. So today we are celebrating all of you, our awesome CBJ students, and all of your hard work and your dedication and your commitment to Jewish learning. Your parents and grandparents and family, your brothers and sisters, all the teachers here, CBJ board members, and me, we are all so very, very proud of you. I'm sure that you will all agree with me that this has been a year like no other, especially in the last 3 months. But through it all, we have managed to keep CBJ Hebrew School going, thanks to all of you, our students, and our wonderful and creative Hebrew school teachers. So I'd like to start by thanking all of our Hebrew school teachers. So thank you to Mora Yoni Matmon. Thank you to Mora Adam Rackman. Thank you to Mora Isabel Brucci. And thank you to Mora Lila Brucci. We can all give you a round of applause. And if you don't want to turn your mics, this is called deaf applause. So you can give deaf applause. This is for people who don't have hearing. This is how they applaud. I hear some applause in the background, but you can certainly do that as well. So whether teaching in person or virtually for the past 3 months or so, all of our teachers have been extremely dedicated to our CBJ students every single week. Most of you know we've been here every Sunday, unless it was a holiday. Thank you so much to each and every one of our teachers for another great year. And we're so happy to have Mora Adam Rackman back with us again this year. So thank you again, Mora Adam, for coming back. We are thrilled to have you back, along with all our other teachers. We also thank our Hebrew School Parent Committee for all of their hard work and decision-making throughout the year. They give up their own time to volunteer in order to make CBJ Hebrew School such a special place for all of our students and our families. So I want to give a big shout out to Karen Cohen, Dan Glassman, Jennifer Glassman, Mark Conowitz, Siva Conowitz, Janet Melanov, Tamar Owens, Alexis Prusak-Martin, and Jennifer Weiner. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Thank you to all of you. You guys are all just amazing. We actually have a meeting this Tuesday night. It's a bar and bat mitzvah meeting. We have a special speaker from UJA coming to talk about bar mitzvah and bar mitzvah projects. So that's Tuesday night at 7:30, and that's open to anybody who wants to join us. You don't have to be on the parent committee to come to the bar and bat mitzvah planning sessions that we have with Rabbi Sam. I want to give a special thanks to Barry Cohen again, our photographer extraordinaire, for the gorgeous photos that you saw in the slideshow and the pictures that he takes at all of our beautiful functions. I also want to give a big shout out to Dan Glassman, our technology guru, for which none of us would be here right now if it wasn't for Dan. And Dan has been working with me since 9 o'clock this morning to make sure that all of this goes as smoothly as possible. Dan, thank you for all the many hours that you take to help with technology and all the other things you do on the board and all the other things you do for CBJ. So we want you to know how much we appreciate you as well. Please know that we really appreciate all of our parents very, very much and all of your input. We thank our synagogue board for all of their support. I won't mention all of our synagogue board members, but I would like to mention our synagogue president, Sandy Conrad, our board chairperson, Sue Bender, our education VP, Ruth Greenwald, our financial VP, Sharon Brimmer, who pays for all of the great things and events and things that we have going on throughout the year. We want to thank all of the support from all of the board members, including, let's see, missing anybody else? Wait. Arlene, I know you're out there. Thanks for joining us today, Arlene. We appreciate all of your support as well. Arlene Rackman, thank you. Any other board members that are here watching today, we appreciate your support too. And Leah, our office manager who puts everything out for us, we thank her as well. So we have lots and lots of people to thank, right? As you know, right, we always say it takes a village, and it certainly does. Our biggest, we also want to thank our synagogue clergy. Rabbi Sam Castell, who's joining us today. He's going to speak to you in a few moments. Our cantor Mordechai Edry, for all they do all year long as our spiritual leaders and advisors here at CBJ. And you know they're always with us on our Friday Night Live. We haven't had one in a while, but we know that they're always there supporting us all the time. And of course, our biggest thanks goes to our awesome CBJ Hebrew School students, for which there would be no CBJ Hebrew School if it weren't for all of you. So I am now going to turn the program over to Rabbi Sam Castell, and he's going to share a few words with you. Rabbi Sam, are you ready to speak to us?
I am. Whoa, I just got bigger. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. So, firstly, I want to just echo what our principal, Rob, said. A great thanks to Dan Glassman for all his help, including while he was organizing this with you. We also had an adult education class that he was keeping an eye on Google Meet, and now we're on Zoom. So he's struggling a lot, and thank you, Dan. It's a big mitzvah. As well as when thanking the clergy, Principal Rob has also helped us as clergy and some of the services, especially when I wasn't able to. So thank you. This week's Torah reading is Bahalotcha. It's one word. And one way to translate it is stepping up. Your speaker is not working. Please check your connection. Are you able to hear me?
Are we unmuted? No, we're not muted.
Looks like the rabbi's on mute.
You may have to unmute again. It's on the bottom on the left. There's a picture of a camera and a microphone.
Close it out.
Hi guys, sorry
We
about
got
that.
you. We got you.
Calling in from my phone. Something was fetchy about the computer.
Okay, no problem. All
So, I have
good.
so thank you, Rob. Thank you, Dan. That's what I started with. And this week's Torah reading is Parshat Ba'alotcha, which is translated to stepping up, right? So I don't know if the people who came up with the name for this ceremony did it intentionally or not. Maybe it was. But in that case, over here, we're talking about stepping up and graduating a year of Hebrew school, an incredible year of Hebrew school, despite all the different challenges. In that case, they're talking about stepping up to the menorah in the temple, right? This was a different menorah than the Hanukkah menorah. One difference is that it only had 6 candles to light instead of 8. Another difference is that it was meant for internal use, so that people shouldn't say that God needs the light. And instead, it was meant as a ritual, a way of us celebrating the beauty of our rituals, the mitzvot that we do. Back then it was in the temple, and now it's in the synagogue or on Zoom or however we do mitzvot, because Judaism is not limited to the temple or to the synagogue. We can do mitzvot in our home, or in some places people have a minyan. My father goes on the porch and the neighbors go on their porches and they have a minyan for people who live together. And so we get creative about, and Judaism has always gotten creative about how we can still unite together and how we can still serve God. And so the menorah, also the idea of light has the power to push away darkness, right? And we live in a dark time now, dark in terms of being in a pandemic, and that's scary. And then also being in a time when there's discrimination and when people are not treated equally. And the best thing that we can do to eliminate darkness is to shine light, is to bring light, bring the light of hope, bring the light of mitzvot, right? And one of the values in Judaism is tikkun olam, that we don't just practice our religion for our own benefit, but we also practice it to help make the world a better place. And so the projects that the Hebrew High School have done, and many of the projects that you guys have been involved with, whether it's giving charity or in other ways, is meant so that you can not just have your Judaism for yourself, but so that you can make the world a better place. And that feels really nice. And so for some people, that might mean protesting on the street for equality. For other people, it might mean when it's safe to go to a nursing home and cheer up people that are feeling alone and isolated. But we find ways to express our Judaism in a healthy, positive way. And so I'm so happy that Rob is our principal, because he's one of the most positive people I know. And he really just turned this Hebrew school into a dynamic, exciting experience. Of course, it was in the time of the Brushis as well. Not that the Brushis aren't here, but I'm just really happy with the direction that it's going, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Sam. Really appreciate your words, and always words of wisdom. and it's really meaningful to us. So thank you so much for taking the time. And we really appreciate that you're here today with us on this special day, because we know you're busy and you just did a class. Thank you for switching your class with our class so you're able to be here. So we appreciate you making the accommodations for us. Thank you.
Speaking of, we should have a Friday Night Live online, and a reminder, every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. There's an adult education class, at least during the pandemic. So please join us. I like to think they're interesting. I can't promise, but give it a go. Thank you.
Thank you so much again. And just a reminder, many of you may not realize that we also have services on Friday night at 6:30, led by Rabbi Sam and Cantor Edry. We're also live Monday night and Thursday night at 7:30. So I'm usually there as well. So you're welcome to join us. We'd love to have you on Monday night and Thursday night, and also Friday night for Shabbat at 6:30. Well, we usually end by about 7:30. So something else I just want to remember, in case I forget to tell you later, that all this is being recorded and you can watch it again and again and again, including the slideshow. You'll be able to see it on Facebook and on our website page, thanks to Dan Glassman. So thank you again, Dan. And thank you again, Rabbi. So now we are going to do some student presentations. So we're going to introduce Mara Isabel, and Mara Isabel is going to be calling you one at a time to do your presentation for us. We're really looking forward to it. Some of you have PowerPoint slides or videos or a little of each. And we look forward to hearing who you're going to teach us about today. All right, Mara Isabel, we're turning it over to you.
Okay, hi guys. So this year we did something really different towards the end of the year, and all the kids in the older classes were invited to work on a project in which they do deep research into an important Jewish figure to them. And we have some really great PowerPoint presentations that everyone worked really hard on. I still don't have the present on my computer, Rob, so I'm going to start with the videos. And then I'll do the PowerPoints once I have.
At the bottom, it says share screen. Do you don't have it?
Oh, I do have it actually.
Yeah, the green.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Paige. So Paige, you're gonna be reading and I'm gonna be presenting, okay?
And then at the top, it'll tell you to stop sharing when you're done.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, can everyone see?
Not yet. Now we can see. Yep.
All right, Paige.
Okay. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Okay. Early life. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was born in Brooklyn, New York. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the second daughter. Her mother was a big influence in her life and taught her the value of independence and good education. Ruth Bader Ginsburg grew up in a low-income, working-class neighborhood in Brooklyn. Ruth Bader Ginsburg attended high school at James Madison High School and college at Cornell University, Columbia Law School, and Harvard Law School. Rise to success. In order for Ruth to become successful, she had to work hard. When her husband was sick, she took all his classes. She went to 3 Ivy League schools and was one of the only girls. She also fought for gender equality. In the 1970s, Ruth served as the director of the Women's Rights Project of the American Civil Liberties Union. She argues, I can't see it. Like my screen is covering that part right after union.
She
Yes,
argued.
You can move the yeah.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, this moves out of the way.
She argued 6
Yeah.
landmark cases on gender equality. Ruth Bader Ginsburg always looked up to her mom. Someone who really helped Ruth was Bill Clinton. In 1993, Bill Clinton nominated Ruth as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Without Bill, Ruth would not be who she is. She is now the second woman to serve on the nation's highest court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is the first Jewish woman appointed to the United States Supreme Court. Ginsburg summed up the impact of her Jewishness has had on her at a speech she gave at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum in 2004. The saying, "My heritage as a Jew and my occupation as a judge fit together symmetrically. The demand for justice runs through the entirety of Jewish history and Jewish tradition. I take pride in and draw strength from my heritage, as signs in my chambers attest. A large silver mezuzah on my doorpost, gift from the Shulamith School for Girls in Brooklyn. On 3 walls, in artist renditions of Hebrew letters, the command from Deuteronomy, Tzedek, Tzedek, Tordof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. These words ever present reminders of what judges must do so that they may thrive. As a Jewish woman, Ruth faced many challenges. Harvard, Ginsburg tackled the challenges of motherhood and of a male-dominated school where she was one of 9 females in a 500-person class. She also faced discrimination from highest authorities at Harvard for taking a man's spot away at Harvard Law. When she was a judge, some people did not want her in the court. They thought she would break the tradition of a man judge. Successes. Ruth Bader Ginsburg won many awards. The first one is the Glamour Woman of the Year Award in 1993. Then the Glamour Award for the Supreme Force in 2012. She also won the Genesis Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. And finally, she won the MTV Movie and TV Award for Best Real Life Superhero in 2019. In 2002, Ruth was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. There was also a movie created about her life in 2018 called On the Basis of Sex. Ginsburg had worked her entire career to eliminate gender-based stereotyping in legislation and regulations. Appointed Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court by President William Clinton in 1993, she is the second woman to sit on the bench of the United States Supreme Court in its 212-year history. In 1996, Ginsburg wrote the Supreme Court's landmark decision in United States versus Virginia, which held that the state-supported Virginia Military Institute could not refuse to admit women. In 1999, she won the American Bar Association's Thurgood Marshall Award for her contributions to gender equality and civil rights. How Ruth gave back to Judaism. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the first Jewish woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court, is the 21st inductee into the Museums Only in America Gallery. The award recognizes the achievements and contributions of American Jews who have significantly impacted American society and culture, often despite facing anti-Semitism and prejudice. In an address to the American Jewish Committee after her appointment to the Supreme Court, she said, "I am a judge born, raised, and proud of being a Jew. The demand for justice runs through the entirety of the Jewish tradition. I hope in my years on the bench of the Supreme Court of the United States, I will have the strength and the courage to remain constant in the service of that demand." This quote shows that she will always be proud of her Jewish heritage. Ruth becoming a female and Jewish judge on the Supreme Court was very rare. She was one of the first to do it. Ruth's collars. Ruth's collars had different meanings. She had a collar for every occasion, but her most famous is the dissent collar. She wears it when she dissents from a decision being handed down by the Supreme Court. Ruth and Sandra Day O'Connor created collars as the first female Supreme Court justices because the robes were made for men so they can wear a collared shirt and tie under it. Ruth and Sandra wanted to make something that females wear. The end.
Okay, great job, Paige. And now we're going to watch Paige's video on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. All right, everyone, a round of applause for Paige.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Great work, Paige, and thanks for teaching us so much about Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Thank you.
1 second, I'm just switching to the next one.
Just a reminder that you can show the video through the Zoom also, if you have it that way. Because we
Okay.
weren't able to see all of the video.
Okay, so next up we have Andrew's presentation on Stan Lee. Andrew, you ready to read?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay. Yay. Whoa. Did the screen share just go off? I don't see it. I don't see the screen share. I can't.
Does anyone else not see it?
Yeah, we don't see, we only see the picture of Stan Lee, but we don't see.
We don't see it at all. I don't see it at all.
I think you need to unpause it.
Oh, you may want to hit share screen again or stop sharing and then share again.
All right. Is that better?
Okay, we
Yeah,
still see the same picture as before.
That's all it is right now. There's no text up.
Okay, that's what we're waiting. Okay.
Okay.
And just so you know, once I'm done reading something, you have to click to make sure there's nothing else.
Okay.
Growing up, Stanley Martin Lieber was born on December 28, 1922 in New York City. His father, Jack, and mother, Celia, were Jewish immigrants from Romania that were just like any other immigrant coming to America. They came for a better life. Jack and Celia were struggling with money. Jack worked long hours for very little payment, and Celia stayed home to take care of Stan. The parents started fighting, which Stan didn't like since he loved his parents dearly and didn't want to see them like that. Because of the money problems, Celia pushed Stan to his limits to study and work all day. The family had to depend on Stan to graduate early and help the family with their problems. Because of this, Stan skipped a few grades and was always the youngest in his class, meaning that he would be picked on and wouldn't make any friends. And then that's the last one. Okay. Stanley was obsessed with reading. After all, it was one of the only things his parents were okay with. During the summers, many of the New York boys would go to summer camp. Jack and Celia couldn't afford it, and all Stan did was read. His favorite teacher was Mr. Ginsburg. He had a great sense of humor and always told a funny story to prove his point. Stanley learned people remember stories when they are told with a sense of humor. He took any job he could to provide for his family. He entered a comic book contest and won so many times they asked him to stop entering. Yay. Next slide. Stanley was still a young boy when he got a job working at what would soon be the birthplace of Marvel Comics. In 1939, when Stanley was just 16, he graduated from DeWitt Clinton High School. Many kids were thinking about college, but not him. He needed to get a job. So, with the help of his cousin Gene, Stanley got a job at Timely, a publishing company run by Martin Goodman. He worked in the comic department with Jack Kirby, illustrator, and Joe Simon, editor. And picture. Yay. I'm pretty sure this is the last one. In 1941, Jack and Joe made Captain America, a superhero in the time of the Holocaust that was made to protect the people. They based him off of the Holocaust because Timely was a mostly Jewish company, so making a hero like that would be something young kids that read the newspapers, I should have added that in, could look up to in those times of worry. Stanley was asked to make an issue of the comic, and he was thrilled. His first comic, Captain America and the Traitor's Revenge, was not so popular, but he was asked to make another issue immediately. He realized he should create a pen name and thought of splitting his first name in half, Stan Lee. Soon after, Joe and Jack quit because of their low payment, so Stanley was the only one there. Then, in 1942, Stan volunteered for the Army. He was a playwright, someone who made slogans, manuals, and training films for the government, along with Dr. Seuss, Frank Capra, and William Saroyan. Oh, there's still one more. I know I wrote it, but you just forgot. One day,
There's more.
Okay, this is the last one. One day, Stan's friend wanted Stan to meet a girl named Betty. He thought Betty would make a great couple with Stan, so Stan went to the modeling agency where she worked, and a different person answered the door, Joan. Before they knew it, they were a married couple and had a child, Joanne Celia, named after Stan's mother, who died moments before the baby, and Joan, Stan's wife. Stan had to watch his daughter at home while working and was relieved to see no more cigar smoke and puffy clouds. After Stan made a new superhero, Captain Marvel, he decided the comic department should have a different name, Marvel. In the future, this name would be known as the most popular movie and comic company in the world. Okay, this one's a shorter one. Okay. Stanley had a lot of significant things happen in his life, but he always gave back to Judaism. There are even some superheroes that he made that relate to Judaism, like Spider-Man's motto. And then Arts.com says, we all know Spider-Man's wise and somber mantra with great power comes great responsibility. But is it also a biblical quote? Sounds like a good question for a rabbi. And this in fact was the semi-serious query Rabbi Simcha Weinstein had to field from none other than Stan Lee, the comic book legend who co-created Spider-Man and came up with Spidey's motto, who died Monday at 95. Stan Lee even made a version of God in his comics, which was referred to as one above all and above all others. This is supposed to represent monotheism and God himself. Stan Lee was proud he was a Jew and was a role model for other immigrants. He helped people get through tough times. He was even referred to as a superhero himself. And then these are just the achievements. In 1961, he made his first group of superheroes. In 1971, he made a message for the government based on anti-drugs with the Spider-Man issue. In 1994, he got a star from the Will Eisner Hall of Fame. an honorary place for comic book creators. In 1998, Marvel's first movie hit comes out, Blade, and then oh, that's supposed to say a date. Stan Lee with Great Power documentary is released, the first documentary about Stan Lee. That was yay!
Wow, that was incredible. Such fantastic presentations. Andrew, that was wonderful. We learned so much about Stan Lee. I'm a big comic book fan, so it's great to learn all of this information. And I didn't know that's how Marvel Comics got its name. That makes sense. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Isabel.
No problem. Just give me 1 second. I'm getting his video up.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. Share screen. Okay. I think I got it. Can everyone see that?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Come closer so that it's clear. Why am I not hearing anything?
How come there are only 6 people?
Great job.
Okay, 1 second. So next up, we have Clara's presentation on Natalie Portman. Clara, you here?
Yeah,
Ready to read?
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Natalie Portman by Clara. Natalie Portman was born June 9th, 1981 in Jerusalem, Israel. Her mother's name is Shelley Hirschlag and her father's name is Avner Hirschlag. They moved to the United States when Natalie was 3 years old. She grew up in Long Island, New York. She began her acting career at age 12 in the movie Leon the Professional. Natalie Portman attended a Jewish elementary school, a public high school at Soissons High School, Harvard University, and Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Natalie Portman's goal was to succeed in what she does. She achieved her goal by acting in movies, working hard in school, and giving speeches about animal activism. Natalie's parents guided through it all and also helped her achieve her goals, like when she was acting. She went to Jewish school and learned to speak Hebrew. She speaks fluent Hebrew and had been a cultural ambassador for Israel through her adaptation of Amos Oz's Tale of Love and Darkness. One challenge that she faced was stepping into Jacqueline Kennedy's shoes in the movie of JFK's widow. Here are a couple of awards Natalie Portman got. In 1999 through 2006, she played Queen Amelia in Star Wars and won the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress. In 1999 through 2006, she also won the Golden Globe Award in The Rolling Stones, and in 2010, where she played as the Black Swan and won the Academy Award for Best Actress. Natalie Portman is famous for acting in many films. Here are some: Star Wars, Leon the Professional, and The Black Swan. She was very successful in her grades in acting. She got A+ for school, and in acting, she even got the Golden Globe Award more than once. Ways she gave back to Judaism. She gave back to Judaism by saying, like many Israeli and Jewish people all over the world, she can be critical of the leadership in Israel without wanting to protest the entire nation. Natalie Portman won the Jewish Nobel Prize, which is also called the Genesis Prize. At her college, Harvard University, she wrote a prominent book, Protecting Jewish People and Their Religion Against Critics. She is among many different famous Jews like Albert Einstein, Golda Meir, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and many more that made important achievements. The end.
Great job, Clara. And now we're going to present Clara's video on Natalie Portman. Okay, can everyone hear this? No? Okay, let me do it one more time. But you guys can see it, right?
Yep, we could see
Okay,
it.
I think I got it to work. Let me know if you can't hear it.
Good morning. Today we have a special guest on WWE who's going to be doing a speech. Hi, my name is Natalie Portman. I was born in Jerusalem. I'm an actress and animal activist. I've been a vegetarian my whole life. I've been vegan for a couple of years. Recently, I produced a documentary called Eating Animals. Factory farming is responsible for most of the air, water, and land pollution. We get to make a decision 3 times a day. You can make a difference by not eating animals for once a day or once a week. None of us will be able to live and work without an environment in which to do it. How we treat animals is powerfully connected to the relationship with the world.
Great job.
Wow, great presentation. We learned so much about Natalie Portman.
Okay, next up we have Darren's presentation. Ready, Darren?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Alex Bregman by Darren Martin. Early life. Alex Bregman was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico on March 30th, 1994. His father was Sam Bregman and his mom was Jackie Bregman. His coach was Birmingham. He was in high school at 2010. He was the first player to go to high school to win USA Baseball Player of the Year. He went to Albuquerque Academy. He was a member of Albuquerque's Congregation Albert.
Rise to success. He had confidence from his young successes, so he was confident. His parents helped him because they let him into the Little League so he could start his love for baseball. Also, his coach helped him by teaching him to get better. Alex's early accomplishments were he won USA Baseball Player of the Year. Judaism played a role in his life because he announced that he would be a baseball player during his bar mitzvah. One problem is he got no attention from Astro fans. Stop watching. Sorry, it's good. Successes. He got into the World Series 2019. His team in college won the gold medal. In his career, he had 99 home runs. His batting average was .20, 286. His runs were 346, and his runs batted in is 320. Ways they gave back to Judaism. There are 877 MLB players in 2018. There are 8 Jewish MLB players in 2018. Alex Bregman is the first Jewish player to win a World Series game with a walk-off hit. Houston Astros infielder Alex Bregman notched the first ever walk-off hit by a Jewish player in the World Series when his RBI single drove in Derek Fisher to lead his team on an epic 13-12 lead in the 10th inning win over the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Great job.
Wonderful job, Darren.
Bregman, you did a great job, Darren. Very inspiring.
Okay, next up, we're gonna do Adam's presentation on Sandy Koufax. You there, Adam?
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
I'm just setting it up real quick.
I have it open on the screen.
Oh no, just that one of the colors on one of them isn't good, so I'm just fixing that. All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Sandy Koufax. Early life. Sandy Koufax is born at Sanford Braun on December 30th, 1935. His parents are Eveline Lichtenstein and Jack Braun, Sephardic Jews of Hungarian descent. The family lived in the Bensonhurst section of Brooklyn. Koufax attended Brooklyn's Lafayette High School, where he was better known for basketball than baseball. My grandmother was there at the same time, and she knew him. He played for Cincinnati for basketball in his young college career before switching to baseball. Domination. After getting drafted into the MLB, Sandy Koufax was just a normal player until 1961. His stats started getting better and better. He got 269 strikeouts in 1961, and he was named Major League Baseball Player of the Month in June of 1962. In 1965, he won the World Series. I messed it up. It's supposed to be 65 again, but I put 56 instead. In 1965, he could only pitch once a week because he would get black and blues. He wouldn't use his arm the whole week and would take a pain reliever before the game and sometimes in the 5th inning. Career stats and acknowledgments. In his 12-season career, Koufax had a 165-87 record with a 2.76 ERA,
2,396 strikeouts, 137 complete games, and 40 shutouts. He was the first pitcher to average fewer than 7 hits allowed per 9 innings. He was on a very short list of pitchers who retired with more career strikeouts than innings pitched. In 1972, Sandy Koufax was inducted into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. This made Koufax the youngest player inducted into the Hall of Fame. I have one more slide that about him being Jewish, and it's not up there. So
You want to read it out?
I guess I will.
That sounds great. Go ahead.
How Sandy Koufax lives a Jewish life. When Sandy Koufax was on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the beginning of the 1965 World Series, he decided that his faith came before his career. He was supposed to play Game 1 against the Minnesota Twins in Bloomington, Minnesota, but on October 6, 1965, the date of Game 1 in the World Series also happened to be the date of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement on the Jewish calendar. He spoke to a rabbi and he said, if it isn't proper to pitch, then I won't because I won't feel right about it. He was also praying for rain because it would solve the whole situation. It ended up being a sunny day, but he didn't play.
Wow. Great presentation, Adam.
Great job, Adam.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Lily. Lily, are you on here?
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Great.
Wait.
Gotta put a picture on.
Go ahead, Lily.
Wait.
There's a pop-up in front of it. It says the host has asked you to start your video. Oh, start my video, I guess.
No.
Okay.
I don't think she's on video.
I see you guys.
Yeah,
Just
the
turn your
video-
mic on, Lily. Can you read it, Lily? Can you see it?
Frida Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo, so she picked.
Go ahead.
Frida Kahlo was born in
Koyakon.
Frida Kahlo grew up in the family's home where she later referenced
Go ahead. Don't cover your
as
mouth.
the Blue House or the Castle Azul. Her father is a German
Descendant.
and photographer. He immigrated to Mexico where he met and married
Her
mother, Matai.
Matid.
Her mother is half